Hey, what's up? Silas here. Just a quick video on the recent bombings in Austin, Texas. There was a spate of bombings in different places, seemed to be rather random, and apparently the suspect actually was apprehended. He was tracked down through different forms of police investigation, using film of him actually dropping bombs off in locations, using things like triangulating his cell phone signal, and the individual, the suspect, ended up blowing himself up as the police kind of came down onto him. Now, I was just reading an article about it. I'll leave a link below to this article. And there's a few things. He had a blog. So this blog has posts from 2012 and things like that. There's one it's called Defining My Stance. I kind of agree with the people who say like the names of these people shouldn't be actually put out, so I'm not going to mention the person's name. But I mean the name, the image, I think there's an aspect of that that glorifies it. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it would be positive if they actually just said the Austin bomber, or they just gave him like a random name, like do like a hurricane type thing. I don't know. This might be de-anthropomorphizing because I think, okay, I do understand this is a human thing. This being a terrorist this way, I don't think it's like an inhuman thing. This is part of the depths of humanity. Humanity can go to certain depths, can also go to certain heights. It's not the average. I mean, the people who do really amazing things, that's a small percentage. The people who do really evil things, really horrible things, that's a small percentage. Most of the people are within the middle. This is how bell curves work in anything in general. But you have this guy having this thing. I think if you get into a situation where it's kind of like a natural disaster where you just hurricane this, so Houston bomber, don't actually give them the actual name. Like right now, I think they say like the Unabomber or the things like that. So maybe if you give them a name that way, then you can actually cover this story without having to glorify the person's name. And then there may be some people out there. But then now when I think, when they have like the terrorist bombers in the Middle East and different other places like that, do they necessarily name the people? Yet the bombings continue in that place. I mean, I think they have a thing where they might have some kind of other aspect to it and religious aspect to it where they're like, I don't have to be known. I'm a martyr to my people. The people who I care about to know who I am, and then that inspires more people. So in that sense, within that community of the bombers, maybe they come out and they praise the person's name, but I don't know how much the names of the people are publicized within those actual countries where those things happen higher. I know the names of the attackers here in Kenya and the couple of terrorist attacks that I've seen here happen here in Kenya. I don't recall the names of these people being publicized as much. So this whole thing of publicizing names could be more of an issue of Western media where they just are a lot more social, a lot more open, a lot more publicizing of certain materials. But anyway, back to this thing. So the guy, still some information coming out. He had a blog. These blog posts are from like 2012 and things like that. And now, of course, people have found it and they're posting things like that. There's one here called a release of a terrorist, an opinion. The outrageous deal to release a senior Al Qaeda terrorist. Then he goes on and this is the same guy. He goes on and does actual terrorist things. And someone here at the bottom, the comment section, is like, coming from a terrorist, you would know. Thanks, homeschool. And so this is, of course, what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of people kind of jumping in, certain assumptions that this and that. Thanks, homeschool. What does homeschool have to do with him actually doing this? I mean, people are going to try to find different things about this individual and then point out, yes, that's what we think is the cause of this. But when a school shooter happens, do people come out and say, right this weekend, right now in Washington, D.C., in the United States of America, probably internationally, there's going to be students walking out apparently for the kids saying, we're going out, we're doing this march in order to protest the Florida shootings that occurred on February 14th. They're coming out to do that, and who is saying thanks school, thanks like public school, thanks mass indoctrination centers? Nobody's saying that's completely connected because people want to protect that. Yet for this guy, he's homeschooled, so yeah, they're good to say, yeah, thanks homeschool. That has nothing to do with it. Anyway, you can check out this blog. I'll leave a link below to the article about this happening. An NBC News article, and then leaves a link to the blog if you guys are interested to see what he's been posting on. He posted on that. There's another one about like why gay marriage should be illegal, my view on abortions. Yeah, he seems to just have right here 6 posts, and he left a manifesto, like he left a long 25-minute video or something, 25-minute video about some of the things that he was thinking. So you guys can check that out. I just wanted to kind of mention that. Ask you guys what you guys think about publicizing the names of the people, and also what you guys were thinking about this happening. There's not going to be people protesting about the bombs and things like that. There's also a recent shooting in Maryland where a school shooter actually stopped things. Nobody's talking about that. Like, oh, thanks, secured guard in school. You know, thanks. Anyway, frustration, anger, annoyance. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. Links below to merchandise store, Patreon as well if you guys want to help out the channel. That's it for now. Goodbye.